Joe Biden, a kid from Scranton. From his time as one of the youngest ever senators to reaching the pinnacle of his career as president.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Becoming the oldest person in history to occupy the Oval Office.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital.
Joe Biden's story is a remarkable one, both personally and professionally, overcoming the pain of losing his wife and daughter in a car crash in 1972 to being sworn in as a lawmaker whilst his other children were still being treated for injuries, and famously travelling 200 kilometres home from Washington to Wilmington, Delaware, every night to tuck his boys into bed.
My God, worry about that when it comes.
He served in Congress's upper chamber for almost 4 decades, bid unsuccessfully for the presidency twice, before being tapped as Barack Obama's running mate, a winning ticket in 2008 and 2012. Biden for a while sat back from frontline politics. He lost one of his sons, Beau, to cancer in 2015. Then, 2017, a far-right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. Scenes like this and inflammatory comments from President Donald Trump inspired his third bid for the White House.
That's why today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
In a campaign marred by the coronavirus pandemic, he ran on his experience and his empathy, qualities which shone through in a deeply divided era. Beating Trump in 2020, he took over a country reeling from COVID-19 and racial tensions.
It's called the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022.
His presidency, he claims, was among the most successful in a century, defined by a series of legislative achievements.
This is our moment.
Healthcare reform, gun control, infrastructure bills, student debt relief, and the Inflation Reduction Act, an incredibly ambitious investment to combat the climate crisis. Overseas, Joe Biden faced several foreign policy challenges. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Israel-Gaza war, both still raging. Yet he can tout some successes, especially in the Indo-Pacific. An unprecedented American-Japanese-Korean trilateral last year. A revived quadrilateral security dialogue with India, Australia and Japan. An AUKUS nuclear submarine pact with Australia and the UK.
Well, Mr. President, it's good to see you again.
And despite at times hostile relations with China, face-to-face meetings with President Xi Jinping. 4 years ago, Joe Biden promised to be the bridge to a new generation of leaders. He resisted until he could no longer. And, like every president before him, he leaves an inalienable legacy, one which he'll hope will be continued by his successor. Benji Hyer, CNA, Washington.